it's very, very difficult to understand and comprehend. That's why Peter rebukes Jesus and says that should never happen to you. Well, let's look at Jesus' response. What does he say and why? Well, Jesus tells Peter very strong words. But he turned around and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a cause for stumbling to me, because you are not intent on the things of God, but the things of people." Now, all of a sudden, we just discussed what the name of Peter meant, and now he gains another name. He was Simon, he was Peter, he was Cephas, and now all of a sudden he's Satan. What happened here? This is a short conversation, and we see how Jesus changes his attitude towards Peter. You just said that you are Simon Peter, and God from heaven opened to you this mystery that I am Christ, the Messiah, and you turn around and call Peter Satan. Wow, this is weird. So, what is the meaning of the word Satan? Well, a noun, Satan, that's derived from the Hebrew verb with consonants, S-T-N, actually has a meaning. Satan as a verb means to oppose somebody. So, as a noun, it also functions as the opposer or the enemy. Therefore, Satan is not a proper name for devil, you know. It's the description of his functionality. How did Peter become all of a sudden the enemy? Well, we know that Jesus probably didn't want to go to Calvary and die, right? Every human being wants to live. Nobody wants to go and die for any reason. We know in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus is crying and praying to God, and the blood and sweat is flowing from his head because he is in torment, because he is asking the Father, if there is any other way, if there is any plan B, let's go with that, because I really don't want to die. And it's not so much physical death was tormenting him, it's the separation from God the Father, with whom he was connected spiritually for the entire eternity, that was bothering him the most. Now, why did Jesus address Peter in such a fashion? Remember, where are we? We are in Caesarea Philippi, the dominion of who? I don't hear anybody. Satan. Okay. So Mount Hermon was considered to be the mountain of Satan. The Caesarea Philippi, the dominion of Satan, with all the idols and demons and demonic activity and giants from the ancient days and idol worship and everything here was screaming, Satan, Satan, Satan. So Jesus knows who is using Peter at this moment to provoke him to depart from his way or from grand plan of salvation. And it was Satan. That's why he directs his statement to Peter, but he's actually addressing Satan himself, the ruler of this area, whom he is actually threatening with his plan of salvation. What was the nature of the provocation? Well, first of all, opposition to the grand plan of salvation. If Jesus wouldn't die, we cannot be saved by these means of his death. It was a stumbling block to Jesus' mission, because Jesus might have considered, well, maybe I should listen to Peter and just stay with disciples and not die. I can die at an older age when I'm well spent my life doing ministry and so on and so forth, and we would have been in a whole lot of trouble if that was the case. Focus on the wrong priorities of Peter. Peter is focusing on what's good for the people, on what's good for the mankind as far as presence of Christ, provision of food, provision of salvation from the sicknesses, healing, and so on and so forth. But he doesn't look at the big picture, why Jesus came to earth. Peter was used by the ruler of that area. We already discussed that. So what are the practical applications for us? First of all, since we know what the church is called to be as a community, we have to respect each other in the community of faith. Okay? We are to learn from the scriptures to fight the enemy, to do it correctly. We have to pray for help and strength in the war. Do not become a stumbling block on someone's path to becoming a disciple, and deepen your commitment to Christ. So this ends the part three of our series. In the next week, we will discuss the price of discipleship and the pledge of discipleship. May the Lord bless you all.